He was the man with the piercing blue eyes, the golden boy of Hollywood. Paul Newman wasn't just a movie star. He was a legend, known for his smoldering presence on screen and his unwavering generosity off it. Newman's life appeared almost perfect, but beyond the fame, behind the charm, lived a man burdened with profound sorrow and quiet pain. And now, decades later, one of his most beloved homes stands eerily abandoned, a haunting relic of a life filled with love, heartbreak, and undeniable legacy. From his epic romance with Joanne Woodward, to the tragic loss of his son, to the humble way he faced his final days, this is the story not told in headlines. It's the emotional final chapter of a man who changed lives, but quietly carried his own burdens. This is what remains of his house, his heart, and his immense net worth left behind. In the early 1960s, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward sought refuge from the relentless spotlight. What they found was a stunning colonial revival-style estate tucked into the hills of Beverly Hills, a serene oasis where family came first. Built in 1937, the home spanned over 4,200 square feet, with 4 bedrooms and 5 luxurious bathrooms. But it wasn't the grandeur that defined it, it was the warmth. The kitchen, outfitted with custom cabinetry and wine storage, hinted at Paul's later ventures into food and philanthropy. The formal living room featured a stately fireplace for winter nights, while the adjacent den offered cozy space for books, laughter, and memories. Outside, the California sun danced across a glittering pool, a rooftop cabana, citrus trees, and a rustic swing beneath an outdoor stone fireplace, a setting straight out of a dream. In 1962, Paul and Joanne posed there with their daughter for a Life magazine shoot. What was captured wasn't just glamour, it was tenderness. A real family, in love, in peace. Today, the once vibrant estate sits still. Its silence whispers of joy once echoed through its halls. Far from Hollywood, in Westport, Connecticut, stood the true heart of the Newman family. A compound of 3 homes, 2 barns, and a bridge over the Aspetuck River. Here, Paul and Joanne created a rural paradise for their daughters. They sledded in winter, hosted neighborhood tag sales, and even adopted a pony. A gift from Sir Laurence Olivier. It was not about luxury, it was about imagination, freedom, and grounding. The main house, the 1763 Ebenezer Coley House, was lovingly expanded to over 6,400 square feet. Wide plank floors, antique beams, and French doors opened to manicured lawns and gunite pools. A nearby 2,100 square foot grist mill was transformed into a cozy home, where fireplaces still held a scent of wood smoke and bread. This was a world built not for fame, but for family. A footbridge led not just across the river, but into memories. It was their refuge, their safe haven. In New York City, on the Upper West Side, the couple kept a quieter space. A penthouse that was more than just a pie. It was a sanctuary for art, for culture, and for love. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a rare wood-burning fireplace, hidden wet bar, a kitchen where simple breakfasts were shared before walks through Central Park. But the terrace, the terrace overlooked the shimmering reservoir and skyline, a peaceful escape above the noise. Their daughter Clea recalled that the apartment was chosen with their dogs in mind. This wasn't about image, it was about family. They spent weeks there at a time, savoring life's little moments. Laughter over coffee, nights at Lincoln Center, mornings in each other's company. Even luxury here had humility. Their love gave the walls life. Before Joanne, Paul had a life with Jackie Vita. Married in 1949, they had 3 children, Scott, Susan, and Stephanie. Though the marriage ended, Paul remained a present father, especially to Scott, his eldest. Scott was magnetic, much like his father. He acted in several films, including The Towering Inferno, but living in the shadow of an icon proved heavy. Scott struggled with addiction, and in 1978, at just 28 years old, he died of a drug overdose. The loss shattered Paul. It was a pain that never left him, In Scott's memory, Paul created the Scott Newman Center, dedicated to educating youth about drug abuse, turning heartbreak into help for others. His daughter Susan followed his artistic path, acting in Slapshot and producing powerful films like The Shadow Box. Stephanie remained private, grounded, and deeply respected within the family. Paul met Joanne in 1953 during a Broadway production of Picnic. It wasn't love at first sight, but something lasting began. By 1957, their connection was undeniable. Paul divorced Jackie, and in 1958, he married Joanne, a union that would last 50 years. They raised 3 daughters, Nell, Melissa, and Clea. Not in Hollywood, but in the quiet woods of Connecticut. They chose privacy over fame, laughter over headlines. Paul once said, "Why go out for hamburger when you have steak at home?" His love for Joanne was unwavering. Even in arguments, he'd leave the house and walk back minutes later. "I have nowhere else to go," he told her. They worked together, raised children together, and aged together. Their marriage was one of the rare golden threads in Hollywood's tangled history. In 2009, biographer Sean Levy claimed Paul had an affair in the 1960s. The public was stunned. Was it true? Did it matter? Fans, friends, and Joanne's inner circle defended Paul fiercely. Many believed the claim was unsubstantiated. A tabloid echo, the New York Post, ran with it. But those who knew Paul knew better. They knew the man who stayed loyal, who nurtured talent, who hated gossip. The 2022 HBO docuseries, The Last Movie Stars, directed by Ethan Hawke, gave the world a gentler truth. Drawn from tapes Paul recorded for a memoir he never finished. George Clooney voiced Paul. Laura Linney voiced Joanne. What emerged was not perfection, but honesty, insecurity, humanity, and deep, enduring love. In 2008, Paul was set to direct Of Mice and Men at Westport Playhouse. His return to the stage, but he withdrew, citing health issues. Later, it was revealed: lung cancer. He'd smoked for years and quit in 1986, but the damage had already been done. Paul fought quietly, never craving pity or headlines. Only close friends, like A.E. Hochner, knew the truth. His family kept his dignity intact. On September 26, 2008, Paul Newman died at age 83, at home in Westport. No paparazzi, no spectacle, just family. He was cremated quietly, just as he had lived. Humbly, purposefully. Paul Newman was the son of Arthur and Teresa Newman, a Jewish-Hungarian father, a Slovak Catholic mother. He grew up in Shaker Heights, Ohio. At age 7, he played the court jester in Robin Hood, the start of everything. He served in World War II, attended Ohio University, but his soul belonged to the stage, and later to the screen, to his wife, to his children, and to causes that mattered. When he passed, his estimated net worth ranged from $50 million to over $600 million. Much of it went to charity, through Newman's Own, which has donated over $600 million to non-profit causes. His house may be abandoned, but Paul Newman's legacy will never be.